Again, my name is Michael Mercer. This is Keeping Kids Safe. This is Mike O'Neill. And a little bit of background, not much, but I'm a retired police officer. And I worked here in Maine and I worked in Arizona. And I've worked a lot with kids and worked in gang units, worked in drug units, and worked as a hostage negotiator and da-da-da-da-da. But today we're talking about internet safety. We're talking about consequences that that you got to be aware of when you go on the internet. You know, I look at the internet like everybody like to go to the city. I know this is kind of in the country out here, but you guys like to go to, anybody been to Boston? Wow, great. Red Sox games? Yeah, museums, things like that. Well, when you go to the city, you know it's a little bit different here than Bridgeton and Raymond and Naples, right? The internet's the same way. You know, when you go to Boston, there's great places. There's Fenway, there's food in the North End, you know, and there's art museums, and there's science museums, and all kinds of great stuff that you wouldn't normally get here in Naples, right? Or in Bridgeton. The internet's the same way. There's places that you can go to research things. You can go to virtual libraries and virtual museums, and you can get your talk to people on Facebook and talk to people all over the world, you know, in different languages. So there are safe, fun things to do on the internet, just as there are safe and fun things to do in large cities. When you go to these cities, when you've been to Boston, have you seen bad areas in Boston that you probably say, well, I probably shouldn't go down that road? Yeah, kind of maybe there's some boarded up homes, or maybe a car maybe kind of jacked up and didn't have any tires, or you heard a lot of sirens, and just some place that didn't make you feel very comfortable there, right? So you probably stayed away from that part of town. Or you brought somebody with you, or you had an adult with you, or somebody. You wouldn't venture out there alone, would you? The internet's the exact same way. There are places on the internet that you don't want to go to. There are places on the internet where bad people hang out. All right? They're waiting for kids and unsuspecting people to venture out on that road. And that road can be very, very dangerous if you don't know what you're doing. All right? You guys been on the internet, you know how to manage the internet. Just like you go to the city, you know how to get through the city, right? But the internet has bad people, and you got to be careful. That's what we're here to do. We're here to teach you that if you get stuck in a bad area on the internet, that there's a way out. If you go down a bad road on the internet, that there's an adult there that can help you back out of there, that there's safety, that you can find safety. We're going to show you that there's places on the internet that you shouldn't even go to. You shouldn't even go to that part of the internet, all right? The internet can be good, but it can also be dangerous. But in order to keep you safe, you need to be aware that it's dangerous. And that's what we're here to teach you today. That the places that you go to on the internet has consequences. And those consequences will could affect you for the rest of your life. You want to go to school to be a scientist. You want to be a politician. You want to be a doctor. You want to be a lawyer. The things that you do right now, today, your age, can affect where you go the rest of your life. So sit tight. If you got questions, hold off to the end, and or write them down if you got a jot. But hopefully we can get through everything. And I'm going to introduce my partner, Mike O'Neill. And he's going to go over the rest of the program with you. Okay? Have a great day.
First, I want to thank you guys for signing up for this class. My name is Mike O'Neill. I also, too, was in law enforcement. I was a deputy sheriff right here in Cumberland County. I created Keep Your Kids Safe for you guys. All right? Went to a couple calls. Children was missing. It was a bad scene. And to get information was like pulling teeth from the parent to find out where of their child. Luckily, we did find the child. Also, ever heard of MySpace? Ever heard of MySpace? All right. When my boy was younger in high school, that was the That was it was Facebook basically, right? That was the thing, it was MySpace. He went upstairs, I jumped on the computer to find out who his friends were, and we found our friend's daughter. She disclosed everything about her on Facebook, everything. What she did for sports, where she lived, what she likes, what her hobbies were. I called up my buddy and said, hey, do you know your daughter's on MySpace? He said, what's that? Okay, so you got to be careful what you post online, and we're going to go through that. So what you're going to learn today is online relationships. Keep your personal information private. It's very important. Protect your reputation. Yeah, right. Protect your reputation. Sexting. Yeah, I know you guys all heard about sexting. Cyberbullying, and we're going to give you some safety tips. How many people here have Facebook? Show of hands. All right. How many people have 800 friends on Facebook? Come on. All right. Can you actually sit down with your parents or me or anybody and tell me who and where you met that person? Can you? That's awesome. A lot of kids can't. Okay? And I'm going to tell you, I want to talk about a story here coming up, what happened, and the consequences of just befriending people that you think you know. Okay? This is Casey Woody. Casey Woody was 13 years old. Her mother got killed in a car accident. She witnessed it. Okay? She was sitting around the corner. Her mother came around the corner. A car hit her, killed her. She witnessed a car accident. She's in a Christian chat room. Now, I remind you, a Christian chat room for teens, talking about what happened. She's spilling her guts out in this chat room and her emotions, thinking she's talking to David Fagan, who was 17 years old. In reality, she's talking to David Fuller. David Fuller is a sex predator. He's 47 years old. He traveled to 3 states to kidnap her and kill her. Okay? And her father was a police officer. Okay? So you be careful who you're talking to online. And this tells you a little story of what happened. So some of the warning signs, what they do. If someone tries to isolate you from your family or friends, turn you against your parents, make you keep secrets, send you inappropriate materials, or talk about explicit subjects, or even threaten you. Anybody heard of Amanda Todd? The story of Amanda Todd. Pretty sad story, isn't it? Okay, she was 13 years old. She was in a chat room. They were in a video chat room, actually, and this guy on the other end said that his camera was broken. But can you snap a picture of your breasts? Remind you, she's 13 years old. So she didn't know any better, so she did. Anybody heard the story? She committed suicide at the age of 15 because that one picture haunted her for the rest of her life. This guy, who was actually an adult, took that picture and blackmailed her. Said, I'm going to send this picture off to all your friends if you don't do what I tell you to do. So being 13, she did what he asked to do. And she did a show for him because she's hoping that he would delete that picture. Well, he didn't. And one day, Christmas, during Christmas break, the police department are knocking on her door. Are you Amanda Todd? Yes, I am. Well, your picture's all over the internet, along with a video. And she lost all her friends. She lost everything. Okay? So you got to be careful what you're posting online. Uh-oh, there we go.
Didn't think I'd had anyone to talk to about what was going on in my life, all the bad things, all the feelings I had for myself, just normal teenage feeling. So I just met someone online that I didn't know, grass was greener on his side. I first met him on one of the private chat rooms where you just talk to like so many people, and then I would make my own, and we talked from there. And that progressed for about a month. Well, I knew from the start that he was how old he was. I didn't even think that we'd have a relationship. He was like a stranger, and you can tell stranger things that you're never going to meet, stuff that you couldn't tell your friends. He was saying you're not worthless, you know, you come over here, I'll take care of you until you can, you know, basically take care of yourself, and you won't have to deal with that anymore. And I just thought that was so much better than staying where I was. The second time I ran away, I didn't want to, but I knew if I didn't, there might be like a little more trouble, because he came to my house, and I get this call from someone else that he talked to online, and she said that he was outside waiting for me. Told my mom I was going to go out for a walk for a little while, and then I took off. I would rather went to my friends, which would have accepted, because I didn't know at the time that most of them were going through the same thing I was. I was gone for, it was about 2 days, and they caught us at another bus terminal. They finally charged him with taking a minor over state lines, and he's right now studying in prison. It was scary because he called me, because then he knew where I lived. He knew what my phone number was, so when he gets out of prison, he could just call me right back again and start this all over again. Well, he said he'd done it before, but he never got caught. So the only thing that's in my mind is, where are they at? Where were the past people that he's met before? If you say that it's not going to happen to you and you keep progressing more and more, then it's eventually going to happen to you whether you want it to or not, because you never know who that person is or what that person's capable of, because he could one day just show up, or he or she show up at your doorstep just waiting for you. When you're getting over your head, you're thinking, oh no, my parents will know what I'm doing. I can't tell them. They'll get mad. I'll get in trouble. Well, don't think of it like that. Think of it as if you keep talking to this person over the internet, you don't know what they're capable of. There has been different scenarios played in my mind of what happened and what could have happened, and the one that did happen, I was lucky that I'm not dead on the side of the road right now, 6 feet under. That's how I feel about it. I can't believe I did this. Why did I do that for? All these things. It was like a fairy tale that never happened. It's very scary.
How many people know the statistics of kids go missing every year in the United States? Anybody know?
Well, my mom said that to me, that sometimes when you chat, or they can find you very much, and they can seriously rob your house or do whatever they want. And they can call you and do things.
Absolutely. Right now in the United States, there's every year, there's 800,000 children go missing under the age of 18. That's almost 1 million kids go missing every year. Okay? How many people know how many kids are missing in the state of Maine? On an average, there's 1,000 kids missing every day. Okay, that run away. Okay, because of this. They're meeting people online. You don't hear about them in the news media because there's no Amber Alerts for them. Because there's a criteria you have to meet to get Amber Alerts out there. And meeting someone online and running away does not constitute an Amber Alert. So that's why you don't hear about them. Okay, but they're out there. So, some other signs. Let's go private. Where's your computer house? That's a big one. I know a lot of you guys have, my daughter is one of them, has an iPad. She goes in her room, what have you. Be careful about that. Okay? Don't tell them where your computer is if they try to ask you. It's none of their business. I know some of them can get you a job or something to that effect. Don't believe some of the stuff they tell you. Okay? And then also they're going to ask you personal questions. Give an example. What do you like for music? What do you wear for clothes? Stuff like that. Do not give out that information.
Meeting a teen girl online is actually pretty easy. You can go into any chat room and just start talking. Most of the girls are usually so insecure and desperate for attention.
Attention from older guys is totally flattering. They're so much more mature and understanding than the guys my age.
Age actually works to my advantage. They like to brag to their friends that they're dating an older guy, so I just play along and pretend I'm really interested.
Interested in the same things I am. You can talk forever and really get to know someone without worrying about looks or whatever. That's the best thing about
Chatting seems unthreatening to them, so they lower their guard. After a while, I start talking about how we're soulmates and how lucky we are to have found each other.
Other people don't understand. I know what I'm doing. If you really care about each other, there's nothing wrong with me.
Meeting them is the goal. Once I get them out of their house, well, that's when things get really interesting.
Online predators know what they're doing. Do you?
One in 5. So that's statistically, some of you in this room have been solicited on the computer, okay? 1 in 5 children. That's a very high statistic, considering how many people are online. So some of the things you seem sad, tell me what's bothering you. You're the love of my life. What's your phone number? And if you don't do what I ask you to, I'll tell your parents, so share photos in a blog, webcam directory, or file sharing network. And that's what happened to me and to Todd right there. Okay? And girls, it's not just you either. It can happen to boys too.
It happened to me 5 years ago. My parents were divorcing and things at school and with friends weren't too good.
Is that too
The
loud?
world was falling down around me.
Okay.
That's when I met someone online.
Is that too loud?
We would chat about everything in my life. I finally had someone to take my side and see things my way. I had someone to put me first. No matter how much I thought we could trust each other, I knew better than to meet in person with someone I had met on the internet. But one day, when school was dismissed early, there was someone waiting for me at my front door. I never thought I'd find myself in this situation. I learned the hard way that no matter who you think you're talking to online, there are people out there looking to hurt you. It doesn't matter if they're male or female, or if they look a little rough around the edges, or even if they're the most beautiful person. These people exist, online and in the real world.
It happened to me too. I was 14 and someone online sent me a private message. I should have responded, but I messaged back and 7 days later, agreed to be picked up outside of my house at midnight. I was taken to another house and what happened there was terrifying. I'll remember it for the rest of my life. I felt numb and powerless and didn't know what to do. I was too afraid to tell my parents and ashamed of what everyone would think of me. But hiding it was a mistake. I saw the car that I was taking and driving around my neighborhood all Sunday long. Was I being targeted again? Or was someone else being victimized? I finally decided to tell someone.
I have to live with the decision I made to trust someone I met on the internet.
But the important thing is that I told someone.
I'm not a victim, but a survivor.
If someone ever did solicit something from you guys, tell somebody, tell your parents, hey, this guy is asking for this or this person. Right now, we're helping. I'm helping a lady with a situation that her daughter was on Facebook and befriended this man. Okay, and this man looked at her list and found her sister, who is 12. Befriended her. She looks and says, oh, my older sister befriended this man, so she befriended him because he sent her a friend's request. As time goes on, the older sister was getting solicited from this guy. Now, she gave out her cell phone number. It was on Facebook. So he's sending her inappropriate stuff on her cell phone. She goes to the mother, they delete them off Facebook, not realizing that her little sister is friends with him also. Okay? So when they got deleted, he turned and started sending the little girl, the 12-year-old, pictures of himself and asking to meet her. This is right here in Maine. This is going on today. Okay? So when you guys sit, when you hear stuff on TV, oh, it's in another state or what have you, the stuff is happening right in here in Maine every day. And it could happen to one of you if you're not prepared. Okay? So make sure you really know the person you're befriending. Okay? And if you're going to meet that person, meet in it. If you, for some reason you want to meet that person, which I hope you don't, but if you do, make sure it's in a public area. It's lit. Make sure you talk to, if he says he's, 15 or 16 or what have your parents talk to his parents. Okay? Because once he says, nah, I don't want you talking to my parents, that's a red flag. Because he's really not who he says he is. Okay?
The internet,
Oop.
it's a tool that has to be used properly. It's like a knife. I mean, it's very helpful, but it can also cut you. My name is Julie. When I was 13, I started talking to Tom. He didn't act or even sound like a 56-year-old man. So he was different on the computer. I knew that I wasn't supposed to be talking to him, but I did it out of a retaliation against my parents. It felt nice to have somebody who wasn't always trying to tell you what to do. It started to get more like a relationship where it went from just friends to best friends, a more personal relationship than best friends. I would instant message him between 3 and 6 hours a day. I was really upset whenever I couldn't get on the internet because I knew that he would be like, what were you doing? And he emailed me like 10 times when we were upset. Then he'd feel like extremely bad about it. It was an opportunity for him to manipulate more. I trusted him more than anybody else. He mentioned, wouldn't it be nice if we were together all the time? And then the thought came up of running away. The night I left, I kissed all my brothers goodnight, and he was in his truck, and we just rode out. I ran away for 3 weeks. The day that I was found, we were on our way to Reno. Somebody reported us and saw our truck. I knew pretty much it's over, and I never really thought the day would come. He's going to be in jail for 25 years. He sent a letter to me saying that it was my fault and that he was going to kill me if he ever got out of jail. I was really upset because he didn't say anything about caring about me. I didn't think of his background, and I didn't apply it to myself, and so maybe he could have done anything to me, even killed me. And so, now that I'm back, I feel like there's this huge emptiness inside of me. If I could have talked to people, maybe I would have had a different view on some things. If you're planning to run away, it doesn't help solve anything. If it does anything, it makes it worse. Little things can end up becoming a big thing. I kind of wish that I never would have run away in the first place. I would never do it again.
There are people online right now. Everybody heard about sex trafficking. Okay? Sex trafficking is becoming a huge epidemic in the United States, especially children. What they do is they befriend you, they tell you all the stories that you want to hear, they play mind games with you to try to trick you to meet them. Once you meet them, there's a couple of things that happen, right? One, they'll try to force themselves onto you and what have you. Two, they'll kidnap you and sell you. Okay? Abigail Hernandez. Everybody heard of that name? Out of New Hampshire. Okay. There's been talk that she was kidnapped and put in the sex trafficking industry. We have kids right here in Maine, right now, that are involved in sex trafficking. Matter of fact, in Gorham, about 3 months ago, they had a bust. Everybody heard about this? One girl. She was 17. Was it 17? 19? Can't remember. She was trafficking when she was younger. Okay, 3 people got arrested. Okay, right here, right in this area. So you got to be careful. The story right here is Kyra right here. She was 14 years old. She was homeschooled. She met this guy right here, David, online. They started forming a relationship. Tell how much they loved each other, all that good stuff. As time goes on, the parents find out about him. They researched him, found out he's a bad kid. Told her, do not date him. Get off the line with him and delete him from your account. We don't want you seeing him. So she told him that. So what he ended up doing was he came to the house and killed her parents because he wanted to be with her. Okay? So you got to be careful, like I said earlier, who you're befriending online. So basically, on your as you see my laptop, I have a piece of tape over the camera, right? Webcam. You need to do that. Because right now, this is such a new crime that the FBI doesn't even know how many people's computers are hacked into. They can't tell you because they don't know. Okay? So put a piece of tape over that camera. The only time you use it is when you photo chat or your friend or what have you, and put the tape back. Okay? Because they can turn that on anytime they want. So, remember we talked about keeping your personal information private. Who's looking at you online? Coaches, future employers, college admissions officers, online predators, law enforcement, teachers, and coaches. I will tell you this, being in law enforcement, we do go online. If we find that we have a person of interest, we find whatever we can on that person. Okay? Everything. So, police use it all the time. College administrators use it all the time. When you apply for colleges, they want to look at your Facebook account. They can do that. They want to see anything what you posted online. I tell the story of this up-and-coming girl. She was a dean. I think she went to Harvard University. She was going to become a prosecutor in New York. They were grooming her to become a prosecutor. They did a background check on her, and in her college days, she posted some inappropriate stuff on her Facebook account that she left public, and other stuff, and she didn't get the job because of it. And she tells people this, okay, because of what she posted 3 years ago. So whatever you post online will stay there forever, okay? So, never give out your personal information of your family or friends, such as names, addresses, telephone numbers, schools, any public areas, emails, unless you are sure you know who that person is. Very important, okay? Do not give out personal information unless you really know who that person is. Or information about your parents or your sisters or brothers.
I used to have a best friend named Katie. We shared everything, even our passwords. One day I got online and noticed a bunch of emails from someone whose name I didn't recognize. The subject was, "You look hot." I opened one up and read what it said. It was from a guy at school who was 2 grades older than me. He said he wanted to do stuff that I'm embarrassed to even say. These girls at school, the beautiful people, as I call them, they convinced Katie to give them my password. She thought that if she gave it to them, it would make them like her. I think she was scared, too. These girls do mean things to everyone. Anyway, the girls got into my email and sent emails to all the senior guys that looked like they were from me. In the email was a picture of me with no clothes on.
They got a picture of someone else from an adult website and photoshopped my class picture headshot on it, I guess. Then they wrote things like, I will do anything to make your fantasies come true, and signed my name. Since it came from my account, everyone thought I really sent it. Now I can't go anywhere at school without guys looking at me funny and people whispering and pointing at me when they think I can't see. I don't have any friends, and I don't even talk to Katie anymore. I feel so alone. I wish I could move somewhere and start over. I thought it was safe to share my password with my best friend. Now I really can't. I wish I could disappear.
This happens every day. Every day. When you guys create an account, do not share your password with your best friends, okay? Give the password to your parents if you need to, but do not share your personal information with your best friends, because something like this can happen, and it does happen, okay? So use your privacy settings, such as friends only, on any social networking site you're on. Only allow people you know in real life on your friends list. It's very important, okay? You all got Facebook accounts, majority of you guys. Use friends only. Do not go public with your information, especially your age right now. All right, how many people have a...
I just wrote that down. I'm just doing it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I got 2 new grandkids, and the pictures are all over the place.
Absolutely.
I'm not sure either of my children or their wives know this.
Absolutely. Nobody knows it's hidden. This is a predator's dream right here. Okay? This is, remember I told you about MySpace? Well, this is MySpace in our century right now. Okay? They can cherry pick any picture they want, and you have no idea that they're stalking you. So any people here iPhones? Okay? What we can do is at the end of this presentation, come see me, and I'll show you how to fix that. Okay? I'll help you. And you can, that way there, after I teach you, you can teach your parents. Because I know your parents don't know this. Not too many people do. Okay? So before posting pictures or information about your friends, check with them first. Yes?
Is there a way that particular thing could be, is there an electronic, so we can print it and send it home with the kid?
Yeah, absolutely. We'll say, yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. So before posting pictures or information about your friends, check with them first. Always protect your privacy and your friends' privacy. How many people post selfies of themselves with their friends? All the time, right? And some of them are pretty funny, right? But, you know, when you post that selfie about yourself, right, you're disclosing where that picture was taken, when, where, all that good stuff, right? And how many people just snap a picture of a friend and post it because they were doing something funny or stupid, right? Well, did you get their permission? Maybe they don't want that online, okay? So you're going to be careful on what you're posting. Check to see what your friends are posting about you. It's important you know that they're what they're posting about you guys, about yourselves. Also, if it makes you uncomfortable, tell them to remove it. Just don't say, oh, you can keep it there. If it bothers you, tell them to remove it. Okay?
Hey, Sarah.
Sarah on the pink shirt, that's the girl I was telling you about.
Theater 2 on your left. Hey, Sarah. What color underwear today?
Hey, Sarah. So when are you going to post something new?
Anything you post online, anyone can see. So think before you post.
It's very important, okay? Think before you post on what you put online, all right? Be careful of going into places like Craigslist and Thoughts.com and all that stuff and adding information, okay? Craigslist is a front for another page called Backpage, okay? And it's scary because once you put in Backpage, is for predators It's for sex trafficking, okay? We use that for a lot, and that's, a lot of people don't realize that, but it's out there. Craigslist, that word right there, personal, okay? Be careful of that, going into that site. And remember I told you about posting stuff online?
Once you post your image online, you can't take it back. Anyone can see it. Family, friends, anyone. Remember, think before you post.
It's very important, and that goes for guys too. All right, not just girls, it goes for boys too. When you post something online, you delete it, it's not gone. Okay, Snapchat, how many people use the Snapchat? We all know that Snapchat lasts for so many seconds and is deleted, correct? No, it's not. Okay, they can snap it and use it against you. Okay, and I'll tell you what now, one decision can mean the difference between having a great high school life, you know what I mean, and going through high school, or what you post, it could turn into a bullying situation that could be out of control, just from one picture, okay? One picture could change everything. So just be careful of what you post. Always protect your reputation. Consider if it's a picture you want everyone to see, including your parents, teachers, law enforcement, college administrators. You know what I mean? Remember that any picture you upload to the web can be downloaded by anyone forever. Just because it's gone doesn't mean it's gone. Okay? That internet is a warehouse of information, and it stays there forever. And someone who's smart can find it. Now we're going to get into what we call sexting, and you all heard of this, so this is a huge epidemic.
Like an older guy, that they have to send like pictures of themselves like that. What is it turning into that you can't go out on a date anymore? You have to flirt via. I think a girl in high school sent a video of herself doing things to herself in order to get a guy. In order to get a guy to date her, he sent it to every guy in his grade.
There's a thin line between him and the whole school.
That's very important. There was a situation about 3 years ago in a school district right here that it started at a junior high level, went to the high school, and from the high school went to the elementary school. Elementary kids were involved in this, sexting, okay? And the law enforcement were involved in it. It got out of control. And needless to say, there were some things that did happen. This is happening right here today. And hopefully none of you are doing this, but if you do, it's child pornography on your phone. And police, us, we take it very, very seriously, okay? Very seriously. Like I told you about Amanda Todd, I always refer to Amanda Todd. That's how come she killed herself, because of a picture of her upper breast, okay?
What's up, everybody? It's Rachel Six. My boyfriend said he wasn't going to share me with anybody, but guess what? He lied. And I'm up on the whole internet scene. People emailing me, people texting me. I get to follow her for the rest of her life. I'm going to be up in the dorm room. Her first job, even her kids are going to know who I am. Yeah, I ain't going anywhere. Rachel Sext in the house.
Sexts can take on a life of their own. There's a thin line between an instant and a lifetime.
Like I said, it never goes away, okay? This kid right here created a false Facebook account using the word name Emily. Emily was brand new to the school district. She wanted to be friends with boys. So she sent out a bunch of friend requests to a bunch of boys. They all bid onto it and befriended her. Reality, it was him, okay? In the meantime, while they think they're talking to Emily, Emily asked for pictures of themselves, naked. These boys, being boys, sent them to her. They actually sent it to him, okay? And he blackmailed them, the boys in school, to do sexual acts on them, or he was going to disclose those pictures to all of the friends in school and everybody that knew these kids. So you got to be careful on what you're posting and what you're doing. And this is a consequence of what can happen. Now think about that, all right? 18 years old, he's on a sex offender list forever because of one picture. Because his girlfriend sent it to him, and he got mad and sent it to his friends. I will say this, the state of Maine is taking this very seriously because we have children that are committing suicide because of this, okay? So, the district attorney's office is really taking this serious. So, if you're involved in that, don't be surprised you get a knock on your door, okay, by the sheriff's department or somebody else and want to see your phone. If you have it on your phone, delete it. Okay, delete anything you have on your phone pertaining to this. And do not take pictures of yourself and send it to friends or boyfriends or whatever. I don't care what they say to you. I'll never share it with you. I love you. I would never do that to you. They're lying. Okay? I'm serious. It's very important. This is a serious, serious crime. Okay? Now we're going to talk a little about cyberbullying. If you're getting threatened response, don't respond, don't retaliate. Save the evidence and talk to a trusted adult. It's very important you do this. Okay? Don't be a bully, be a friend. Don't be a bystander. Block the bully and be civil. I know right now in this school, where you guys right here in this class, you've all witnessed some form of bullying or been a subject of bullying. Okay? So, always check comments regularly. If you're a profile blog where other people can make comments, check them often. Do not respond to offensive or embarrassing comments. Delete them and block the person from making additional comments. Don't let them on your Facebook account. Delete them. If you're not going to say something in person, don't say it online. It's very, very simple, right? Okay?
Hey, I just got another one. Looks like we're doing worthless next. I think there's some room on my back.
The hurt of digital harassment can last forever. There's a thin line between words and wounds.
Just remember, what you say to somebody can have a lasting effect to them forever. Anything negative. Okay? How many people here remember something someone said negative to them? Yeah, it sticks with you, doesn't it? It hurts. It hurts bad. And when you get my age, you're still going to remember it. Okay? It'll still hurt. Usually what we do is take a piece of paper and you crumble it up. And I ask the kids to straighten that piece of paper, get all the wrinkles out of that piece of paper. Do you think you can get all the wrinkles out? You can't.
Greg Watkins, if you're in the building, could you please call 228? Greg Watkins, 228.
Just think, those wrinkles are comments that someone's made to somebody. They never go away, okay? Ryan Halligan was 13 years old. He went to junior high with these girls, especially one of them. And when they got into junior high, they went their separate ways. Ryan was kind of a loner. The girls became popular or what have you, if we want to call it. And they wanted to play a game with Ryan. So they pretended to like him, that they really thought he was cute, and they want to go out with him, and they led him on for about 2 months. And then all of a sudden, after 2 months, the game was over. And they started saying some mean things to him. They didn't like him. It was just a game. You're a loser. You shouldn't live. This poor kid hung himself. And his older sister came in the bathroom and saw him hanging from the shower. Okay? So be careful. If you hear this, please stand up and stop it. Okay? Because I'm going to tell you right now, the bullies, when you get into the real world, when you graduate high school, it's over. Okay? In the real world, we don't hate bullies. Can't stand them. Okay? Bullies are right. I will never hire a bully. I have a business. I will never hire a bully. Okay? And remember this. Okay? You kids that are in high school right now. The day you walk down that aisle and get your diploma, it's over. Your life is a whole new life then. So what's happening now, it will be over in time. Trust me, it will. I can't even remember my junior high days, and I'm 46 years old. So things happen in life, right? The bullies that you encounter right now, the minute you graduate, you'll never have to see these kids ever again. Never. Okay? And I'll give you an example. Steve Jobs. Everybody heard of Steve Jobs? And Bill Gates. Okay? Everybody thought they were geeks or what have you, right? They were the two richest people in the world, right? Okay. They were a product of being bullied. So just remember, if you are a bully, okay, and the person that you're bullying, you never know in the real world when you get older, he could be a business owner and you might need a job. And he'll remember what you did. Okay? So some of the safety tips. Talk to a trusted adult. Don't respond to messages that are rude or offensive. Say the messages that will be used by law enforcement evidence. Very important. If someone is bullying you, whatever, save it. Show a police officer. We have a new law right now in the state of Maine, an anti-bullying law, that will protect you. And they will prosecute the bully. Okay? Even if he is a minor. Okay? Do not post personal information. Respect copyright laws. Check with sources. Do not forward emails to everyone in your address book. Secure your password. Do not share it, even with your best friend. Never download from anyone you don't know. We talked about that. Beware of phishing scams that are out there. Very important. Okay? And be careful of websites and don't share any personal information. You can have a school. You guys dictate what kind of school you want to have. Not the teachers, not the principal. We can say we don't want you to do this or do that. You're the student body, okay? Reality, you guys run the school the way you guys want to run it. And I'd rather have a school like that and be recognized as being the safest school and the funnest school in the state of Maine where kids can want to come and have a great education and not have to worry about where they come from, what they wear, their background, or the mental disabilities. That everybody's accepted. Everybody. Okay? Because I will say this. In the real world, when you get out there to look for a job and stuff, employers, they don't care how popular you were in school. They don't care about if you were the star quarterback. Okay? What they care about when we hire people is every good person. You work hard and you're honest and sincere. That's what's going to get you places. Not because how popular you were in high school. And that's a fact. Be that one, okay? Be that one person. One person can change the whole school, and that's a fact. So when you see someone on the corner by themselves and they look depressed or sad, just going to say, are you okay? Because you know why? Because you never know. That child could be thinking of committing suicide because of something that's going on in their personal life or something that's happening in school. And you going over there and showing some, hey, are you okay, could break that train of thought and show that person that someone really does care about them. Okay? So we ended with this right here. Be the one. Be the one to make a difference. And that's our presentation.